Hello YouTubers, DEFan38 coming at you out here for the final update video for 2023. And I tell you what, I gotta start out by saying this was a really fun year for me. First of all, getting the Bass Pro Shop sponsor, let alone the Coleman Racing's products, which is really awesome to have from Menominee, Michigan. Thanks again to Gene Coleman and Mike Kingus for hooking me up with that, but for Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shops to take a chance on me was really, really cool. So I gotta, first of all, thank those guys. It's pretty awesome. And then again, I gotta thank Joel Tyson for the 75 stuff. That was really awesome. And you guys will soon, next year I'll show you the door when I move in, because I got my own garage, so I'll have everything in that garage. The postcards you saw behind me earlier this year, those will all be plastered on one wall in there. So the flags and the banners, those will go in there, and so that'll be pretty sweet. So my my room, not sure how it's gonna look like, but I know for a fact that it's gonna be just regular die-cast cars in the original box, tacked and pinned to the wall, and they'll hang on there for display, probably for the background. So we'll do that. So other than that though, this was a really fun year for me. Elko Speedway was a blast. Went there 6 times. I was planning on going 7, but you can't really deal with Mother Nature, what she's going to do and predict in September, in the middle of it, for the 23rd of Thunderstruck 93. We all got washed out, unfortunately. But Oktoberfest in Iowa and Elko as a whole. First of all, Elko was always a blast. The fans, the drivers, the crew members are just a blast to hang out with. I never had a bad video out there ever, so I gotta appreciate you guys for that. That's awesome for my channel. And Jason Sears, the Elko Track announcer, taking a chance on me to do a podcast interview. Perfect. I love that so much, and I give that guy my utmost respect out too. Same for Diesel. I met him at Mystic Lake this year. That sponsors Elko for Mystic Lake Casino, which is pretty sweet. And then I gotta thank Tim Olson for hooking me up with the ARCA Menard shirts and the Midwest Tour shirt, or the ARCA Midwest Tour shirts and the ASA ones. I wouldn't been able to be in the garage here at Elko or Iowa or at La Crosse if it wasn't for him. So I'm really grateful for that. And then Joel Tyson and Donnie Reavers and Ryan Varner for me being part of their team, which is pretty sweet. And now the new one that I got, Brian Sarakeski, number 81. I met him a couple of times. I even got a shirt too for Ryan Farrell in the 80 car. So that's pretty awesome. I'll probably fluctuate between those two, because I don't think if Joel ever goes back to the ASA, well, it was ASA ARCA, now it's ASA for the Midwest Tour Series. If he ever goes back to that, I definitely will wear that and wear his shirt. But for the meantime, for next year, if we go to Elko and the 75 is not there, I'll either bounce between the 80 and the 81 shirts for that, and I'll also get a custom hat for the 81 car. So, and I'll probably make one for the 80 for Ryan Farrell, just be the number. And so, yep. But I got one. I already got the stuff set up on my phone for that hat, so that was pretty cool. But I definitely am honored to wear Brian Sarakeski's 81 shirt, so that's pretty awesome, with my old school ASA Racing Series hat from 2003 when it was the original series. This is 20 years old. And Joel's stuff is down there. And then, of course, Chad Bryant Racing with the ARCA Menards. That garage pass for me, wearing that ARCA Menards gear and getting to meet a lot of the drivers twice between Elko and Iowa with that garage pass. Holy smokes. I'm the only person this year. I don't know if there's many others out there, but I know for a fact that I was one to meet Frankie Muniz twice this year. That, to me, is huge. Grew up with that guy with Big Fat Liar. I grew up with them at AG Cody Banks 1 and 2. And he really made my childhood in the early 2000s. So 2002, 2004, and 2006. And around 2003 era, too. So, yeah, 2002, 2003, and 2004. Those early 2000s for me, where Frankie was really awesome. I never really got into Malcolm in the Middle that much, but I've watched here and there. But it was really, really good stuff though for those movies he was in, and I still get a kick out of those with Amanda Bynes too, which is pretty sweet. I love the Amanda Show growing up. That was hilarious. I still watched it on YouTube. I still laugh my butt off watching that. So yeah, the early 2000s were perfect for me to be in, and I gotta thank again my parents for having me being born in 1996. That's a true blessing to be born in that year, because the 2000s were golden for me. So I'll never see stuff like that ever again, unfortunately, but we get it on YouTube, so I'm happy about that. So, and then of course, you guys subscribing to my channel and making this thing dominant for me. I so appreciate that. And you guys have given me some good comments throughout a few years of doing this, so I definitely appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like the lacrosse video for the interviews. And I gotta first of all thank those drivers immensely, because even though they're worth their $80,000 race car, it's so cool to have them take time away from that car and talk to me. That is huge. And I got to thank Dan Ferguson, Ty Ferguson, Johnny Sauter, the guy that drove the 30 American Online car. And next year, 20 years ago, this year, he was in the Payday 21 cover share with Kevin Harvick. That, to me, is cool that Johnny had me want to do an interview with me. That was really awesome. I was looking forward to talking to Conrad Peterson and Rich Bickle, but the front, they had no front brakes on that Tribute Dick Trickle car, so missed it by that much, but we'll shoot for it next year, I'm hoping, and if everything goes well, I can get that interview. But that was pretty awesome, and Ty Ferguson was great. And Brian Starekeski was awesome. That was really, really cool. And Jacob Gady, that was a fun one with Matt, and having both cars there, the black orange and the white orange car. So, and it was cool for Jacob to tell me which car was what for him, for his, but that was really, really fun. And to do the interview I did for that was pretty sweet. And I've always want to talk to him after Elko, because that Elko for Championship, everybody wants to get a hold of him and talk to him. So it's really, really hard for me. I know that Racing Empire was able to get it last year when I got the door, so that was really cool. I actually watched his video when I was there holding the door behind his camera, and he nobody will see this. This was off camera, but when I walked up there, he went like this to me when he was doing the interview, because I was going to say something, but he was recording, and so I gave him the respect for that. But I was always looking forward to talking to him in an interview about like that championship. So I got it at lacrosse, so it still worked out. That was really awesome though, and I love that tremendously. So, but Racing Empire, Charlie, you're a great dude, man, and he's now got himself a car. So he might not post a whole lot of videos next year due to the fact he's working on his Power Stock Bomber for Conrad Jorgensen Racing. So, but if you give me a lot of love, you should also go over to his channel and check him out and give him a lot of love too. So I want to help him out the best I can, because he helps me out too. And we bounce off channel information from each other to try to help each other out throughout the year. So it's really, really cool. So, and it's cool. He does cameos on mine. I've never been on his channel, but he's been on mine, which was really cool. I give him shout outs and he shouts me out, so that's pretty sweet, and it's pretty awesome. So it's a lot of loving. And then Iowa Speedway this year for the ARCA Menards event, we got to go back to that, because just like lacrosse, but that one was better, because I gave you guys a lot of content in the garage area. I've been in there once before. It was for the Xfinity race. If I would have had a YouTube channel in 2016, and I was actually able to push Josh Berry's 88 car. I was looking at something here. I actually own Josh Berry's 88 2016 car. So I was able to push his rookie car with the crew guys, and I was wearing a Dale Earnhardt shirt with an Earnhardt hat. And the crew guys, it was really cool, and they're like, hey, we love your outfit. How about, hey, we love your outfit. How about you come and stay with us? And I was like, holy smokes. And I got in there because I was up against the fence, and I was looking at the cars going through the tech garage building that they have there, and the NASCAR official, his name's Joey, And I haven't seen the guy in a long time, but he looked at me, he was like, "You're dying to come in here, aren't you?" I'm like, terribly. He's like, "Come with me." We went over to the gate entrance. There's the 2 security NASCAR officials there that would check if you had a garage pass. I didn't have one, but he was like, "Is it cool if he comes in here because he'd be with me?" And I was like, "Sure, go on ahead." And it was really awesome. So that was a lot of fun, and again, I'm getting shotgun up here just telling the story. But it's pretty awesome because the 88 car rolled up and the crew guys were like, "We like the shirt and the hat, you're with us." I'm like, "Sweet." And I said, "Can I touch the car?" And they're like, "Go for it." So I got to smooch up with the 88. So I never got to meet Dale Jr., but that's as close as I ever got to come to meeting the guy who was touching his car. So I got to do that, and I got to see go to the tech building. They had the mounts where you measure the splitter adjuster, so I brought the metal down to the splitter on the right side, and they took the hood pins, they popped them, they lifted the hood, and I've never seen the most beautiful Xfinity engine in my life since 2016 for that. And I had a flip phone, Pantech AT&T. I took it out and I flipped it just halfway. I got to my camera, like, "You can't take a picture." I wasn't going to sit, and it goes, "No, you can't take a picture of it." So I was like, damn. But it was super, super shiny, and I could tell and I can now understand where they say have your fans on, fans off. What they're talking about is these 2 tubes that come down to the brakes. There's fans there, and they turn those on and off so it clears debris off the brakes so you don't overheat them and explode. So now that was really cool to see that. So I do remember those singular tubes coming down there like that. And as we're pushing the car onto pit road after the tech garage, because the crew chief said, "After we're done and just working on this car, you're going to come push it with us." So I was like, holy smoke. So I grabbed the right side of it. And when I looked down on the right side of the car, usually on the back, there's the number. I looked down and sure as crap, there's the 88 number looking at me. And I'm like, holy. And I touched it. And I was like, man. And they're talking to me. They're like, "So where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Chaska, Minnesota. My hometown track is Elko Speedway." "Oh, we know where that is." I'm like, nice. So that was sweet. But Iowa for the ARCA race was the same way. Luke Fenhouse was a great guy to talk to. And I took a few pics with Frankie. And I even talked to him off camera. And I said, "How's the track?" He goes, "It's kind of bumpy out here." And it was pretty awesome. But I autographed 10 postcards up there for the fans. I even got to ride up back to the concourse area with all the drivers and the crew, because there was an autograph session underneath the main grandstands out of turn 4. So there's this 2 lawn carts that they have the drivers and the crew chiefs with. I hopped on it with them, and I asked Frankie. I said, "There's room?" And he's like, "Sure." So I sat next to Frankie Muniz. We took photos together, and this guy took a photo right as we were going to go underneath the tunnel, and it was going to be dark. So we took it right. Timing is everything. So we took that photo. That's on my Facebook page. And Luke Fenhouse went in that thing in the 28. I've never seen a Chevrolet in my lifetime win there when I was at a race. And I was really jealous about 2009 when they went there with Brad Keselowski in the GoDaddy.com car. But Luke Fenhouse went in that thing over Gibbs Racing with William Swalwich. I mean, I loved William, but I really wanted that 28 Chevrolet to win because they only got 1 postcard, and it was from William it was from Luke Fenhouse in the 28 car. And so I got his autograph, and when I was recording on pit road for the second time down there from my YouTube channel, when the 28 car rolled out, I shut my phone off. Well, I noticed on my video too, when I was recording, the guys were kicking stuff towards the pit wall, and I kind of had an idea what that was. And so I turned it off. As soon as I put my phone in my pocket and shut it down for my camera, I asked the crew guy, I said, "Are those lug nuts that you were kicking?" He's like, "Yeah." And I looked and I said, "Can I have one?" He's like, "They might be a little warm, but you can pick one up." And I did, and it was a little hot, but I rubbed it. But I almost in that moment felt like the little girl that gave Dale Sr. the good luck penny inside that 3 car and wound up winning the 2500 in 1998. I rubbed it and I gave it a kiss. And I looked up to the heaven and the sky and said, "Dale, buddy, can you make the 28 car Chevrolet win this race for me today in Iowa with this garage pass around my neck? And I want to do this because my grandfather is having a tough situation this year. He's not able to walk anymore. He's just in a bed at his house with my grandmother. But I want to do this for him and everything I've loved Chevrolet. So I just want to do it for this, and prayed to Earnhardt and God, and it worked out. And I was like, man, and I got the lug nut still, and that was pretty sweet. And that was really, really cool. And I showed a woman that was next to me. She's like, you must know a lot of these ARCA guys. I said, well, I'm part of Chad Bryant Racing at iRacing for him back in 2013, and I won a championship out there for him for the computer. That's how I got the outfit, and that was really cool. And a lot of the crew guys from Luke Svenhouse's team, one of them were like, I used to work for that team, and it's like working for any other team. The guy was kind of a hard ass, but you know, it is what it is. And I said, that's pretty cool. And they said, oh yeah, and I remember those 2 shitbox cars you have, a 22 and 77. I thought, oh man. But I told them, I said, hey, you know that those cars may not have performed well for Chad Bryant. At least he got Penske numbers on Chevrolet, so not on Fords or Dodges. And he's like, you got a point there. So that was pretty sweet. So, but that was cool. And the crew chief to Luke Venhouse's car, to the 28, he used to work for Chance 2 Racing with Truex Jr. and Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in the early 2000s when it was the 81 and 8 Taco Bell, Bass Pro Shops, Cheese and Nips cars. So that was pretty cool to be a guy associated with that team. So that was pretty awesome. And for them winning that thing, and me in Victory Lane, I got a Victory Lane hat. I took the Chad Bryant one off to the side. I kicked it to the Victory Lane fence. I put the Calypso one on, and I have it over here actually. Yeah. So I got the Victory Lane hat from Iowa when we were all doing the hat dance. So that is really cool to be part of that. So, and I was really honored to do that and to be there that night. So I got to thank my dad, and it was fun for my relative Joe, to my buddy relative, and yeah, Joe, to see that. So they all got a kick out of that. And I've done stuff like that before in the past, and then you get their minds blown. I got cars autographed that I brought, all of them, one point, and they thought, man, you just got a lucky horseshoe up your you-know-what. And I said, I kind of do, don't I? And so they were blown away that I got to do that. And then when on the way back, we were driving back to the campground in Kellogg, Iowa, which is about 15 minutes away from Newton. They're like, next year, probably, if we go there again next year, they're going to probably have you wave the green flag. And I said, probably. I wouldn't doubt it, but that would be pretty cool. So, but I definitely appreciate it. You guys blew up those videos big time for Iowa, and that Victory Lane one was fun for me, adding the background music to it. I got that off my phone, so that was pretty sweet. My buddy Sam, that you've seen on my YouTube channel before in the garage here with me, he's like, that sounds like your NASCAR PlayStation 2 video game soundtrack. I said, it's close. It's not exactly the same theme music that NASCAR EA did for Victory Lane music in 2007 for when they made NASCAR 2008 for Victory Lane wins, but it's kind of similar to that a little bit, but not by, it's changed. But he's like, yeah, you can definitely tell it sounds close to that though, just different music though, but it's giving them the same vibe. But it was so cool, and you can actually hear, if you go back and watch that video for him in Victory Lane, you can actually hear my voice. And you can also see me at Elko on the front stretch with the 20 car, raising my right hand up. You can see the red and the black Techwear shirt in the camera shot with Jesse Love Jr., which is congratulations to him too. So that was awesome to be down in Victory Lane for that, and to talk to the FS1 ARCA lady that does the interviews out there. I talked to her twice this year, and that was a lot of fun for me, because I got that close to meet Phil Parsons, and I never got to meet Benny. Oh my gosh, if I ever got to meet Benny Parsons, that would be huge for me, but unfortunately not. But I would love to meet Phil Parsons, because that would be totally really cool for that. And Phil's a great guy. I grew up with him a lot on TV. I never saw his racing career. That was way before my time. But I knew he drove for the 55 Skull Patrol Bandit team for Burt Reynolds, so that was pretty cool. And he was teammated to Harry Gann at one point, so that was pretty sweet. So Phil was a mediocre Cup driver, but he still looked good, and he won ARCA races and a few Busch ones as well. So it's pretty awesome. But I'm glad you guys love the content I put out this year. Looking forward to next year. and it's going to be totally sweet. And just thank you guys so much. And I'm looking forward to 2024. And I'm only going to wear this shirt if it's not the 75 at Elko. But if I go to La Crosse, I'll always wear the ASA Midwest Tour shirt. And so that'll be pretty awesome. So, but thank you guys a lot. And looking forward to next year.